Recording. All right, so this is where we ended off class last week. The last person, do you all remember who was the last person to perish? I think it was Tommy, right? So Tommy got run over by a hippopotamus or something like that. All right, so anybody wants to take back guesses of who will be alive at the end of class? Well, we know for sure it's not going to be Tommy, Chops, or Susan. So anybody wants to, take another pick. I'll give you another chance in case you lost last week. Right? So you have between Jin Jin, Felix, Zub Zub, Rexy, Tiggy, Tails, or Moko. Who do you think will be alive at the end of class today? Right, so some people said Tails all the way. Only one person's like Zub Zub. Right. Right, so let's jump straight into statistics. Now, a lot of people will have heard this word, average. Now, this here is a commonly misused word in maths. A lot of people think average and mean is the same thing in maths. And this stems out from SCA, right? And it's a bad habit by teachers, including me, right? That I usually use the word averages and mean to basically mean the same thing, right? Let me give you an idea of let me give you an SCA question to do. Let's say you open your SCA exams one day. So I say you go back in time and you're writing back that SCA exam. And I give you 4 numbers. You can just quickly do this on the calculator. 6, 8, 10, and let's call it 5. Find the average of those 4 values. Just try that simple SCA question for me. So to find the average of 4 numbers, well, you add up all the numbers. So you say 6 plus 8 plus 10 plus 5. And when you add up all the numbers, right, let's see how much you get when we add it up. 6 plus 8 plus 10 plus 5, I'm getting 29. So in SCA, you would add up all the numbers they gave you, and then you would do what? Divide by how much values you were given. You were given 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you divide by 4. And of course, the answer you would put down in the exam would be 7.25 or 7.25, right? So for those who got it wrong, this is probably just a small refresher of your SCA work, okay? Nothing amazing here, except we just did not find the average. We actually just found the mean. This here is the mean. Whenever you add up numbers and then divide by how much numbers you have, that's actually the mean. It's not technically the average. And I want to explain why. You see, averages is just a general category. There are many different types of averages. Let me put that in context. What about a dog? Let's say you had a dog and you told somebody, hey, I have a dog. Then the next question would be, what kind of dog? Because there are many different types of dogs. Just like averages, there are many different types of averages. Mean is a type of average. Mode is a type of average. And this thing called a median is a type of average. In SCA, the type of average they were teaching you to find was the mean, which is, well, I'm not going to give you a big note on this, right? But I want you to take down this, what I have here, right? There are many different types of averages, mean, mode, and median. And I know what some of you all are saying. Well, you know how to find the mean. I just showed you an example. But how do you find the mode? And how do you find the median? But that's going to be my job today. All right, so do me a favor. Take down this little, this little diagram here for me and let me know when you are finished. I mean, meaning that this is the one You put a little smiley face and meaning that this is the one you're learning SCA, right? The easy one. Just add up all numbers and then divide by how much numbers you have. Right. Oh, by the way, the formula for this, right? To find mean is this formula. Sigma x divided by n. I know this looks complex, but sigma x means add up all the numbers you have. This is the mathematical way of saying it. Sigma x means add up all the values. So some teachers might have said it like this. And guess what n is? N is the amount of numbers. Like in today's question, there were 4 numbers. So amount of values or numbers, okay? This is the technical way to write it. And yes, the name of this symbol here, in case you all didn't know, that funny looking M that falls sideways and died, his name is sigma. He means to add up. Whenever you see this symbol in maths, it means to add up. So sigma x means add up all the values in the question. So x is just the values in the question. So to answer your question, should you take down this formula to find mean? Yes. Let's say I have let's say I went up to a few people who are eating doubles. So let's make this a realistic question, right? And I asked one person, hey, how much doubles can you eat in one sitting? And the person says, well, I can eat a maximum of 3 doubles. Okay. So we asked another person standing up next to them, hey, sir, how much doubles can you eat? And that person said, I can eat 10 doubles for whatever strange reason, but there are people who can eat 10 doubles. So one person said 3 and one person said 10. If you wanted to find the number that lies in between 3 and 10, let's just say that question came, right? You have 3 and 10, and you want to find a value that lies in between 3 and 10. How do you find that in maths? Well, it's super easy to find in maths. Whenever you want to find a value in between 2 values, you just add the 2 values and always divide by 2. Always divide by 2. This is going to be super important today because today, you're in a lot of questions, you're going to end up in between 2 values. And you're going to have to find a value that lies in between the 2 values. You don't know why yet. You just need to be able to do it. So could you all find the value that lives in between 3 and 10? Add the 3 and 10. If you're using a calculator, right? Make sure the 3 and the 10 in brackets. Open brackets, 3 plus 10, close the brackets, and then divide by 2. Otherwise, the calculator will give you a wrong answer. Or you can just add 3 and 10 in your head and get to 10 and then divide it by 2. Make sure you're seeing 6.5 or 6.5, right? The answer is not 6 and 7. The answer is 6.5. When you add 3 and 10 and you divide by 2, you get exactly 6.5. 6.5. You can put the fraction or you can put the decimal. It's up to you. All right. Try one more for me, as it's going to be super important today. Let's say that I have 3 values, 7, 10, and 16. And I want the value here in between the 10 and the 16. Now, I put the 7 here to distract you. If I'm asking you what value lives in between 10 and 16, you're only paying attention to the 10 and 16. The 7 there just to distract you. So what you will have to do, add the 10 and the 16, and then divide it by 2. Always, right? So whenever you want to find the value in between 2 values, you look to the left, you look to the right. Whatever you see, add them, then divide it by 2. Right? Like I said, if you're using a calculator, make sure the top is in brackets. Open brackets, 10 plus 16, close your brackets, then press divide, then by 2. But I don't think simple things like this need what? Calculators. Emma, correct. Anybody else have it? Add the 10 and the 16 and divide by 2. Correct. So the answer here would be 13, right? 10 plus 16 is 26. 26 divided by 2 is 13. So 13 lives secretly in between 10 and 16, all right? For whatever reason. All right, so let's move on to the next slide. Don't worry if you didn't catch everything perfect, right? I'm going to be repeating myself over and over. All right, so we're on to the next screen here. So far, Tommy is gone, Suzanne gone, and Chops is gone. Let's see who is next to meet their maker. Now, I already know who is going to win this one, right? So I can't play with you guys here. So let's see who gets kicked out of the game. Let's go. Next on the list is... We're sorry to announce the death of Rexy Sanchez. Oh, that's the dinosaur. Rexy was a famous mountain climber who was a banana-holic. So he used to eat a lot of bananas. And apparently he went on Mount Everest and slipped on a banana peel and fell to his doom. How ironic. Anybody's out of the game? Did anybody choose Rexy as their hero to win? If so, you're out of the game. Yeah, right. Let's move on. All right. So here's what now. Let's say I give you a set of values. Now, it's very important, right? Whenever they give you a statistics question, the numbers are going to represent something. For example, in this question here, you could have asked, you could have gone on the main road and asked people, hey, how old are you? And these are the responses of the people. So one person said they were 8 years old, another person said they were 8 years old, another person said they were 11. You're getting hang of this. And there was even somebody who was what? 75 years old. So whenever you see numbers and statistics, the numbers have to represent something always. And it's supposed to be stated somewhere in the question. So in my question, this is the age of people. It's also very important that when they give you values, to always arrange it from smallest to largest. Now, a lot of the times in the exam, right, this is what the examiner will do. They'll give you a mix-up. 22, they'll have 14 here, they'll have 75 here, they might have 8 here, then our next 8 here. They'll have it jumbled up. You need to always try your best, right, to arrange the numbers from smallest to largest. It's just a good idea to always arrange numbers like that. It will help you. So this here is the first value. This here is the second value, and you're getting the idea. This is the third value. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So down here is the 10th value. If I were to ask you what is the 5th value, super easy question for 1 mark. What is the 5th value in my data? This is data here. Simple question. It's not even a trick question. What's the 5th value? It will be 16, right? Because here's what? The 4th, and here's the 5th. So the 5th value is 16. Great. No tricks. And I can even call here the 6th value, here the 8th value. Let's completed while here. I do some, I can't even count when I'm teaching you all maths. So, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Okay, so fine. And if I ask you what's the 7th value, you know the answer is 24. But how about this? If I were to ask you what's the 5.5th, it sounds very strange. What's the 5.5th value? You probably never heard somebody talk like that. Like if you're running a race, somebody could come first, somebody could come second, somebody could come fourth, somebody could come fifth. But suppose somebody walks up to you and asks you this strange question. Who came 5.5th? And you just look at them funny. It's like, what madness you talking, right? But let me show you how. No, 5.5 means 5.5. So tell me something. Is 5.5 the same thing as fifth? No. Is 5.5 the same thing as sixth? No. Isn't it reasonable to assume that 5.5 is in between fifth place and sixth place? Let's clear this up first. Is that a reasonable assumption that 5.5, the 5.5 place is in between the fifth place and the sixth place? So you want the value that lives in between 16 and 22. And I just showed you how to find a value in between two values. So the number lurking in the 5.5 place, you have to add 16 and 22 and always divided by what? 2. What's the answer now? A lot of people sent the answer already. Who is in the 5.5 place? 16 plus 22 divided by 2, I'm get 19. I got 19, sir. Right? And today you're going to be always trying to find, not always, and a lot of questions, always trying to find something in between two values. So let me ask you another question. I'm writing in blue here. I want you all to find who lives in the 8.5 place. Who came 8.5 in the race? Well, assuming. Or who was the 8.5 age? Where does 8.5 live? I think everyone could agree that 8.5 is somewhere in between 8th place and 9th place. So you're looking at 36 and another 36. No problem having same two values. The rule is if you want to find something in between two values, you add the two values. It's not my fault. The two values are the same. Add 36 and 36 and divide it by 2. And you will get what? You will get back what? 36. So the 8.5 value is still 36. It's strange, right? So suppose there's one more question, right? Suppose, I'll give you a hint. Suppose you wanted to find the item, the 3.25 value. Now here's what. 3.25 is still in between third and fourth place because 3.25 is more than third, but still less than fourth place. So it's the same procedure, right? The decimal doesn't always have to be 0.5. The point is 3.25 is more than third, but less than fourth. So to find the number living in between here, you do the same thing. 11 plus 14 divided by 2. And what will we get, guys? 11 plus 14. I'm getting this, right? 12.5. Make sure you see it. Let's go. I think we deserve a little break there. All right, let's see who's next to go, right? Let's see. Next on the list is, a lot of you all are going to be disappointed. We are sorry to announce the death of Rebecca Tales, who died at the age of 51. Tales worked at a tying up words. Tales worked as a nuclear bomb engineer at a Trinidad bomb lab. Oh Lord. And she sleep away on the on button. I don't know what I was thinking. All right. Bye-bye, Tales. See you in the afterlife. All right. All right. So let's get to these things now. Yeah. you're going to need a calculator, unfortunately, for this, right? I can't imagine you all adding up all of these numbers without a calculator. And it's so easy to miss a number. So we're going to start off here. An alien lands on Earth and eats people in different countries. So apparently, just to interpret the data, he went to one country and ate 0 people. All right, let's hope that's Trinidad. Then he went to another country, probably, let's call it Barbados, and ate 9 people. The point is, he was visiting different countries and eating different amount of people. I'm sorry for this country, 66 there. All right. So what we want to do, let's answer 3 basic questions. And you notice the numbers, I already have them from smallest. Look at it. It starts at 0 and it gradually increases to this largest, 66. If they ask you to find the mean of the numbers, this is the easy one, the primary school question. How do you find the mean? To find the mean, the formula is sigma x divided by n. What does this mean again? Sigma x means you're going to add up all the numbers. And what does n mean? Divide by how much values you have. How much values do we have? The 0 counts as a value. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. If I count wrong, let me know. So I want you all to do this for me. Add up all the numbers and divide it by 13. And that will be your mean, your primary school question. Remember, mean is just one type of average. Try your best to always go to 2 decimal places. I don't want to fight about the decimal places today, so I'm just going to make one announcement. Try your best to go to 2 decimal places. The examiner will appreciate that. When I add up all the values, I'm getting 362. Anybody else could agree with that? I think some people add it up wrong. I'm getting 362. Anybody else could agree with that? A lot of people are agreeing with that, right? So if you did not get 362, like I said, add back up the numbers. It's real easy to misadd, right? It's real easy. And you divide it by 13. And when you do that, you're getting 27.85. If you round it off to 2 decimal places properly, like I said, I don't want to fight about the 2 decimal places, right? So 27.8 anything, I will take it as correct. Right. For those who got it wrong, let me know. Add it back up and make sure you're seeing 362. So let's get to a different type of average. So one type of average is the mean. When they ask you to find a different type of average, the mode is just the most popular. Which of these values is the most popular? Which of these values appeared the most times? 21, right? You notice the 21 appeared what? Twice. So he's the most popular number. He wins the popularity contest. Mode is always easy. So the mode is 21. You just write it once. You don't write the 21 twice. Because if they ask you, what is the most popular number? You would just reply 21. You won't say 21, 21. You're some weird, right? So the mode is just the most popular value. I like him. He's the easiest one to do in any CXC question or any NCSE exam. Don't worry, Deshaun. I'll come into that in a little while. Don't worry. I'll have that later on. Right. This guy here, the median. He's a troublemaker. Median is a different type of average. To find the median, here's what you do. Make sure the values are arranged from smallest to largest, right? And you're going to use this formula, right? I'm going to clear up some space here to do the last question. You're going to say n plus 1 divided by 2 and put a TH here. Everyone take down that formula. That's the formula for mean. This is how you find the mean. Make sure you put a TH here not just n plus 1, right? It's going to take about 5 minutes to explain. So, right. So let's use this formula and get an answer, right? N is the amount of values we have. Everybody agrees we have 13 values. Remember, in the first part, when we added up all the values, we got 13. So the first thing you have to do, take the amount of values you have in today's question is 13. Always add 1, always, and you always divide it by 2. Median will always have a 2 here. 13 plus 1 is 14. 14 divided by 2 is how much? Let's get that. 13 plus 1 is 14. Right, so you will get 7. But don't forget the TH. Now, here's the thing. When you use the formula, you do not get the value of the median, but you get the position, and that's what the TH is here for. When you use this formula, it gives you the position of where the median is, well, living. So we have to go to the 7th position, and we will find the median. Does everybody agree? Here's the first, here's the second, here's the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and here's the eighth. But the point is, here's the 7th. Who lives in the 7th position? It's not even a decimal. It's just plain out asking who is living in the 7th position, and that particular value will be the median. So the answer is 25. The median is 25 because according to the formula, he was living in the 7th position. But this only works if the values are arranged from smallest to largest, right? And there's another way to do this called the crossing off method. I'm not going to use that method. There's a reason I'm not using that method, right? Right? But both of them will give you the same answer, right? Let's see what's going on in the next slide here. All right, so the next one involves a dinosaur. A dinosaur time travels to present-day Trinidad and sees doubles for the first time and goes crazy eating them. Below is the amount of doubles he eats each day. All right. So one day the dinosaur eat 10 doubles, the next day 11, next day and next 11, and so on, right? First of all, how much values do we have in all? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So n is going to be 10. In these questions, n just represents the amount of numbers we have. I want you all to do the easy question for me. Find the mean. Remember, to find mean is what? Sigma x divided by n. We know n is 10, and sigma x means to add up all the values you have. When I add up all the values, I'm getting 2, 4, 6. Take your time and, you might have to try twice. So, like I said, it's so easy to miss a number. And then n is 10, right? We know this. So you're going to get 24.6. So the mean amount of doubles he ate was 24.6, right? Alexandria, check it back, right? Add up all the numbers first, write it down, then divide by 10. Check it back, check it back. Everybody good so far? For those who got it wrong, let me know when you see your mistake. Right. So the next one is pretty easy, right? They ask for the mode, right? They ask for the mode. The mode is just the most popular. I'll write it back. Mode is most popular. Who is the most popular number? It have a tie, right? 11 appears twice and 22 appears what? Twice. So it have a tie for most popular. So it's 11 and 22. You write it just like that. You don't even have to add the two numbers or nothing. It have a tie, right? So it's like you have a race and two people tie for most popular, right? So it's 11 and 22, or some people put 11, comma 22. Anyhow you want to write it. Just write two separate numbers. Median. All right, so let's find the median now. Now this one is going to be a little headachy. Let's get a different color here. Get orange. Median. Remember the formula for median? I'm going to write it up here. Median is n plus 1 divided by 2 with a th here. Right? How much is n in this question? N in this question is what? 10. I have it written up here. So use the formula. 10 plus 1 is what? 11. And then you divide it by what? 2. 5.5, and you have to put the little th here. Now, is 5.5 the median? No. 5.5 is the place where you will find the median. That is where the median is sleeping. So let's go ahead. Let's go over here. Here's first place. Here's second. It'll take a little while, sorry. Third. Fourth. Is fifth. And the first 22 is sixth. Right? So where does 5.5 live? Doesn't 5.5 live in between fifth place and sixth place? So what you have to do, remember I showed you in great detail how to find a value in between two values. Who is living between fifth and sixth place? You add 14 and 22 and you divide it by 2. 14 plus 22 divided by 2 is 18. 18 is your median, right? So sometimes the placement of the median can fall in between two values. So that's why I made sure and show you that at the beginning of class today. You see how all of these values are separated from each other, like the dinosaur, when we're just gathering information on the dinosaur. One day he eat 10, next day he eat 11. You call this raw ungrouped. I spelled grouped wrong. G-R-O-U, ungrouped data. Raw ungrouped data is just values with commas in between them, right? And you need to memorize that term, right? So put a little arrow now over here saying that all of these values here are considered raw ungrouped data. In fact, all the questions we did so far were raw ungrouped data. It's just individual values separated by commas. All right, so let's see who's next to meet their maker. Anybody want to take a guess? It's between Jinjin, Felix, Tiggy, Zoop Zoop, or Moko. A lot of people have it out for Felix. What you all have against Felix there? I swear to you, about 10 people say Felix in a row. All right, let's see who's next to go here. Next on the list is we're sorry to announce the death of Tiggy Bartholomew, who died at only the age of 23. Apparently, he won the lottery and became addicted to fast food. Oh, he died of a heart attack, it seems. Right. Bye-bye, Tiggy. Right. Anybody out of the game? I'm sure people chose Tiggy. I'm pretty sure. He's usually a popular choice. All right, let's move on. Right. So try this one here. For this is your practice question now. Find all three for me and send it on the chat. Mean, mode, and median. Good luck. All right, so based on the answers that are coming up, right? The mean is pretty simple. When we add up all the numbers, we got 248 and we have 10 values in all. So the mean is 24.8. As simple as that. The mode is going to be pretty easy as well. Do we have a tie here? 20 and 44. Yeah, we have a tie, right? So it's just 20, you can put a comma in between, or you can put and, right? 20 and 44. Well, however you want to write it, right? The median, it's n plus 1 divided by 2 with a th here. That's the position of where the median is sleeping or hiding or whatever you want to say, right? So we have 10 values. 10 plus 1 is what? 11. We can do that in our head. Divided by 2 is 5.5. So the median is living in the 5.5th position. This is the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So this is the 5th position, and this is the 6th position. It's living in between Mr. 23 and 25. So add 23 and 25 and divide it by 2. What will we get? 23 plus 25 divided by 2. Hey, we got a real nice number. Did we get 24? 24 is the median. Anybody can agree with that? I'm working out kind of fast. I hope I didn't make any mistakes. All right, so somebody said I made a mistake just now, huh? Did I make a mistake over here, guys? The 248 is supposed to be 284, 248. Did I make a mistake here? I think I have the correct had the correct thing on my calculator, but I just write the. It's 28 point. Okay, sorry, guys. Yeah. I had the correct thing on my calculator, but I probably just spin it around in my head. Right? So sorry about that. It's supposed to be 28.4. Right. Sorry, the tiredness probably kicked in this year. Another name for median. Median has more than one name. Sometimes they call it median, and you'll notice they also call it Q2. Or another name is second quartile. All of those things mean the same exact thing in maths. Second quartile, median, or Q2, all of them, you use this formula and method to find them, right? So that's letting you know, right? Because when you go in school, instead of calling it median, they might say find Q2 or find second quartile. And you'll be scratching your head, right? Because nobody never tell you. So I'm letting you know now. So that means if it has something called Q2, then it might have something called Q1, and there's something called Q3. So far, you only know how to find Q2. I'm going to have to show you just now how to find something called Q1 and how to find something called Q3. And I'll give you the official names for those things in a little while. Let's move on there. I think that's enough time here. All right, there we have a little pirate here. A pirate plundered 15 boats. Below is the amount of gold coins he found on each boat. Well, I'm not going to ask you to find mean, mode, and median again. I think you all got the hang of that. So these are the amount of coins on the 15 boats. Right? If you count up how much values we have 15. Right? I guarantee you, we have 15. I'm going to show you how to find something called Q1 now. Q1, its official name is first quartile. To find Q1 or first quartile, it looks like the median formula. You say n plus 1, but instead of dividing by 2, you divide by 4 and put a TH. You think you all could work this out for me? N in this question is 15. So say 15 plus 1 and divide it by 4 and put a TH by it. Once again, this formula doesn't give you the value of the first quartile. It will just tell you where it is sleeping or hiding. Right? So n plus 1, well, 15 plus 1 is 16. 16 divided by 4 is 4. So the first quartile is hiding in the 4th position. First position, second position, third, and fourth. It's not even a decimal, it's just plain old fourth. So the answer for the first quartile is 44. Think you can do the second one for me. Find Q2, the median. You all know how to do this one. Do this one for me. Find the median. That's the n plus 1 divided by 2. You all know how to find this one. N plus 1 divided by 2. Fifteen plus 1 is 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8. It's hiding in the 8th position. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and 8th. Look in there. That is the median, or Q2. So he is 55. Right? I know I kind of rush you all there, so take a minute, take down everything, and we will move on. Right, let's see who is next to go here. Oi, it only has how much 4 people left. Jin, Felix, Moko, and Zooms. I know you all have it for Felix. I feel even sorry to ask who you all want to go. Everybody has have it out for poor Mr. Felix, who is just a mechanic or something. All right, let's see who's next to go. Next on the list is, we're sorry to announce the death of Jin Gomez. Jin was invited to a Thanksgiving dinner by a group of aunts who he worked with at the sugar factory. Upon arriving at dinner, he soon learned the truth. I guess he was the dinner. Anybody out of the game? Some people did choose Jin. I saw when people were guessing. Poor Jin. Go on. So it's between who now? Felix, Zub, and Moko. Charles, you are out. All right. So we're going to find, so we continue in the question, and this is the same question with the pirates. So for the pirates, they want to find something called Q3 now, better known as the upper quartile. Now, just to let you know, because it's getting a little confusing. Q1 stands for lower quartile. Q2 is the median or second quartile. And then you have this one, Q3, which is upper quartile. Now, here's the formula for the upper quartile. It's n plus 1 again, right? But here's what you have to do. There's a little change in the formula. It have the TH again. But you have to add the n plus 1 first, multiplied by 3, and then divided by 4. It's 3/4. So remember, it's 15 values we have in all. So it will be 3, according to the formula, 3 must be here. 15 plus 1 divided by 4. Work this out for me now. 15 plus 1 is 16. Take 16 multiplied by 3 and then divided by 4. And tell me what you get. 12? Right, I think we get in what? 12. So the upper quartile, or Q3, is hiding in the 12th position. Which value is in the 12th position? Emma, I don't understand. Lower wasn't it first? I'm not too sure. Type back the question, no? First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, and 12th, right? 77 is our upper quartile, or Q3, right? Sometimes instead of calling it upper quartile, because it have a 3 here, they call it third quartile, right? Have about 4 different names, in fact. Right. Then they will ask you to find the scary thing, the interquartile range. But the interquartile range is actually pretty easy. To find the interquartile range, you have to take the answer for Q3 and minus the answer for Q1. The answer, the final answer, and that is all you have to do. You have nothing else to do. So what was the final answer for Q3? It was 77, right? I can't remember. What was the answer for Q1? It was what, 44? And that is all you have to do. Take the final answer for Q3 and minus the final answer for Q1. 77 minus 44 is 33. Easy, right? Set interquartile range. But to do interquartile range, you have to find the answer for Q3 first and the answer for Q1 first. And you just simply minus them. Right, so I think I rushed you all a little bit, so I'll give you a full minute to take down anything you need, and then we're moving on. Right, now there's this one other thing we have to, this is the same pirate question, right? Something called the semi-interquartile range, or SIQ. To find the semi-interquartile range, you take the answer for Q3 and minus the answer for Q1, just like how we found the interquartile range. But when you have the word semi, you have to divide it by 2. And that is it. You have to do nothing else with it. So remember, Q3 was 77. The final answer for Q1 was 44. And all we have to do is divide it by 2. And the reason we divided it by 2 is because of the word semi. Remember, semi means half, like a semi-circle means half of a circle. So the answer for this would be 77 minus 44, which is 33. You divide it by 2, and then you finish. You'll get 16.5. The semi-interquartile range is 16.5. All right, so here you guys have a practice question, right? Let's see what this is about. All right. A dragon decides to try fish wontons for the first time. Below is the number of wontons he ate each day. So you have 2 things to find for me. The interquartile range and the semi-interquartile range. Good luck, guys. To find the mean, we just add up all the values we had, which is 272, and we have 10 values in all. So this one was pretty simple. It's 27.2, right? But I really want to focus on the interquartile range. Remember, for the interquartile range, you have to find Q3 and Q1 and minus it. So it's to do the interquartile range is quite a lot of working, right? So I just head in, give you a jump start here, sorry. Remember, to find Q3, you have to use which formula? N plus 1. You have a 3 here, and you divide by 4, and a TH here. And for Q1, the lower quartile, or first quartile, is N plus 1 divided by 4. It does not have a 3 in it. This formula will tell you where Q3 is hiding, and this formula will tell you where Q1 is hiding. And in case you didn't know, N is 10. You still have some time to work it out. To find the position of Q3 is 10 plus 1. That's what? 10 plus 1 is 11. Multiply 11 by 3, and you divide by 4. Anybody gets an 8.25? But this is not the answer for Q3, but the 8.25 position. Anybody could agree with that? Yeah, that looking correct, right? I don't know the final answers as yet. I'm still working it out. So where is the 8.25 position? Remember, if here is the first, give me second, third, it'll take a little while. Fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, right? Ninth, and the last one is the 10th position. So the 8.25 is in between 8 and 9. Remember, 8.25 is more than 8, but it's still less than 9. So it's in between 33 and 44. How do you find out if something is in between? You add the two of them and divide by 2. So add 33 and 44 and divide by 2. 33 plus 44, that will give you 77 divided by 2. I'm getting 38.5 for Q3. That's the final answer for Q3. Anybody could agree with that? Q3 itself is 38.5. Right? Yeah, this is 10 values. This is a new question. This is 10 values. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 values. We done with the pirate question. This is a different question, right? Anybody can agree with me on this one? So far, no one agreed, so I'm getting worried. All right, one person agreed. Ezekiel, you agree? All right, Kyle, you agree? Good, good. All right, so let's find Josiah. Good. So Q1 now, the first quartile is N plus 1 divided by 4. That's the formula I gave you. 10 plus 1 is 11. 11 divided by 4 is 2.75. Now, 2.75 is greater than 2, but less than 3. So it's in between 13 and 16. No, we not rounded it off to a whole number. We definitely cannot 100% sure, cannot round it off to a whole number. Right? Right. So the 2.75 number is in between second and third. So who is in second place? 13. And who is in third place? 16. Add 13 and 16 and divide it by 2. 13 plus 16 divided by 2. Well, we're going to fit all of this way. Q1 is 14.5. 14.5. Anybody can agree with that? So we have, to me, we have the answer for Q1 and we have the answer for Q2. Q1, sorry. Q3 and Q1. Right. So to find the interquartile range, we have to take the answer for Q3 and minus the answer for Q1. So it's going to be 38.5 minus 14.5. How much is that? 38.5, hold on, 38.5 minus 14.5. I got 24. That's my interquartile range. That's my final answer for the interquartile range. You still have the semi-interquartile range, which is not going to be a headache because it's the same formula as interquartile range, which is Q3 minus Q1, but you divide it by 2. So in other words, you're just taking 24 and divide it by 2, because when you minus Q3 and Q1, you're getting 24. So it's just 24 divided by 2, which is 12. You notice for this question, all the values are separated from each other. So this, once again, is raw ungrouped data. And all teachers will start with this, raw ungrouped data. The opposite of ungrouped data will be grouped data. And that's going to be next. Well, for next week now. Next week, we're going to be doing grouped data. Right. Anybody needs more time on these slides? All right, so we're down to 3, and I know who you all want to die. I know it's Felix. Let's get it out of the way. Let's see if it's Felix or Moko. Let's go. You're real bad-minded against Felix, man. Oh no, next on the list, we're sorry to announce the death of Moko Le Loco, who died at the age of 39. Despite his scary looks, Moko was regarded as the most charitable and kind person in his village. Apparently, the villagers grew jealous of him because they were looking bad by comparison and branded him a witch and burnt him. Poor Moko, right? This is what we get for being nice to people. All right, so the battle is between Zoop Zoop and Felix. All right, so here's the thing, right? This what we're going to do now is we're going to find the mean of this information here, the mean. I want everyone to draw this table. You see, what we were doing all the time was raw ungrouped data. You notice this time the information is in a nice little table. It's not like all the information is like 5, 8, 7, 22, a big long string of numbers. Sometimes they ask you to find the mean, which is a type of average, but they give you a real nice, neat table. When they give you a table to find the mean, it's a slightly different procedure. So draw the table exactly how I have it. And I want to show you this one example here. And after we finish this question, class will be basically finished. So let me put this question in context so you can relate it to real life. Let's say one day you get a job with the Ministry of Agriculture and they send you to the forest, right? And your job is to measure the height of plants. So you bring a little ruler. So some plants were 5 centimeters tall. Some of them were 10 centimeters tall. I think you'll get the idea. The frequency is the amount of times something happens. For example, how many plants were 5 centimeters tall? 3. So you measure 3 plants that had a height of 5 centimeters. 4 plants had a height of what? 10 centimeters. It's as simple as that, okay? So you collected all the information and you put it in a nice, neat table. And your boss tells you, hey, I don't want to read no table. I don't have time for that. Find the mean of all the information on that table. First of all, Frequency is usually represented by the letter F. That is good news, right? Because F stands for frequency. X is what you are actually measuring. So we're measuring the height of plants. So the height of plants is represented by the letter X. To find the mean of a table, this is the formula you have to use. It's only going to look scary, but it's very easy. It's sigma fx. Don't worry, I'll explain what that means. Divided by sigma f. Do you all remember what sigma means? Sigma means to do what again? To add up. So if I tell you to sigma all the money in your wallet, I want you to add up all the money in your wallet. But nobody talks like that in real life, okay? Fx. In maths, if you have two things with nothing in between, what is automatically living in between the two things? Do you all remember? If you have fx, what's automatically in between the f and the x? Multiply, correct. You all remember from basic algebra. So fx really means f multiplied by x. So I'm going to show you how to do this now. You notice in the table, I already put an fx column. Fx just means you're going to take all the f values and multiply by the corresponding x. So f multiplied by the corresponding x. 3 multiplied by 5 is 15. Do the same thing here. Take the f value and multiply it by the corresponding x value. 4 by 10 is 40. You all can more than do the rest. Figure out the two missing values there. You're taking the f and multiplying it by the x. That is all you're doing. You can do this in your head, right? You don't need no calculator for this. Right? Easy stuff. 1 by 15 is 15. 6 by 20 is 120. All right, we're almost done, don't worry. According to the formula, you have the sigma fx that goes on top. Sigma fx means you go to the fx column and add up everybody in the fx column. You think you guys can do that for me? Add up everybody in the fx column and put the answer here. 15 plus 40 plus 15 plus 120. 15 plus 40 plus 15 plus 120. I'm getting 190. Anybody can agree with that? Sigma fx, when you add up everybody here, I get in 190. So guess what? That goes on top. 190. Because the formula says we have to add up everybody in the fx column, put that on top. And what goes underneath? Sigma f. Plain old boring f. Isn't this the f column here? Add up everybody in the f column. Add up the frequency. 3 plus 4 plus 1 plus 6. Anybody got 14? Divide it and you finish. That is it. That's the end of the question. 190 divided by 14. 13.57. And you have to put centimeters because the average height, when the mean height of the plants is 13.57 centimeters. Right, and we'll be doing a lot of questions like this next week. I already wasn't supposed to do this question today, right? Because this falls under like tables and whatnot. So this is going to be our starting point from next week. I will change up the values and we'll do back this question as the first question next week. All right. Take down everything. Let's go. All right. A little drum roll here. The winner is going to be... We're sorry to announce the death of Felix Moses, which means automatically Zub Zub wins. Felix being a plumber Well, did Mario assassinated? I don't know if you all play video games. Mario from Mario Brothers is a plumber tuner. So Felix is his competition. All right, guys. So, guys, you all know who won, right? So you all have some closure on this. So Zub Zub is our winner. And guys, that's it for class today. All right, I hope you had a good time. And next week we will continue with statistics. Right? And keep at the homework. Remember, the homework was brackets and surds. So keep at it, guys. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.